The 5AA Sports Show. KG and Cornsy's Where Are They Now?
And see which one of us can tell the biggest lie.
Past legends, past glory.
Yes, where are they now? We go back and talk to a young man who's doing very well in a new profession, Stud.
He's one of the inaugural Crows,
yes.
And he was one of those outstanding young men who could combine a profession with his football. It came at great cost in terms of his time and his social life, but gee, what an effort he's packed into his short years at this stage, even though he's finished playing the game. Dr. Matthew Liptak, or is it Mr. these days?
It's Mr. Graham. Thanks very much. G'day, Ken. How you going?
I'm very well, thank you, Matthew. Thank you.
That's good.
So you've gone past the doctor part and now you're Mr.
Oh, yeah, now say the surgeons' categories are still called Mr. Due to past predecessors in the butchery game, I think. But
let's start now. I first became aware of Matthew Liptak when he was playing footy for Sacred Heart and then for Glenelg Juniors. But where did it all start for you? Where did life start for you?
Oh, Graham, it's footy started near on 30 years ago down at the Nan Bremer Football Club, the same club that Sean Tate's actually from as well. So up in the hills was my first time I pulled on some boots at the Nan Bremer Rams, and that was.
What were you doing up there? What was your family doing up there?
We were just living up there for I guess the country life for a few years, and that's where I first put on the boots at the age of 8.
Your family's interesting. Your mother and your father. Tell us about that. I see your dad pretty regularly, and you've got athletic young brothers. But I've always got this impression that you come from an academic family.
Oh, I guess they're both academics. Dad is in the building game and got a good business up and running in the building Liptak projects. And Mum trained as a teacher, now is in the rehabilitation counselling of getting people back into work with disabilities.
So tell us about your early education, because you're obviously an intelligent young man. I didn't know, is that genetic or is it something you had to work out and acquire?
I think it's a bit like my football, Graham. It was something that I was striving to do, and a bit like the migrants, the new generation migrants that come to Australia, the Asians, but the Italians, and also my dad's Hungarian, and I guess that trait was carried through the 50s, and there was a striving ability that all the migrants wanted to make sure that their children got the best available, education and sporting prowess that they could whilst they were in Australia. And I guess that sort of character sort of was inbuilt into me from a very young age from both my father and my grandfather, in fact.
Matthew, when did you first realise that you wanted to become a doctor? Because it's a very difficult course.
Yeah, I guess unlike football, medicine was something that I strived to get the marks for, but it wasn't something that I really was passionate about as a youngster. It was really more to strive academically to get the marks, and once I was in, I had a few hiccups along the way and thinking about whether I wanted to be a doctor or not, because to be honest, my sole being was the one to be a footballer, and I wanted that from a very young age.
It was difficult to coordinate both, and you were far from a nerd, weren't you? I mean, you didn't appear to be always immersed in your books, but there must have been times behind closed doors when that was all you did.
I think that's time management, Graham. I think most people that are successful in multiple aspects of their life manage their times well, and I hope I did that well, and I feel that despite giving most of my time dedicating it to the sport, and then as much as I could academically, I feel I had a pretty good social life along the way, and I think I've sustained some great friendships both from school, and I still keep up with those guys, and as well as footy along the way.
Can I tell the story about your time management? People may have heard it before, but it was impressive in a sense. We trained Monday night, of course, at Crows training, and you had your time worked out, how long it took you to drive from Glenelg to West Lakes, And you figure that if you could train at Glenelg on Monday night and do your rehab and recovery and perhaps some skill-based work there at Glenelg rather than at West Lakes, you could save 45 minutes, which you could use for your study. Tell us how you work that.
No, there's certainly plenty of time management skills like that, and I guess that probably that was very much in the early days, and I was travelling with a group of ex-Glenelg boys at the time, and some of those guys were fairly poor drivers, so I had to add an extra couple of minutes.
Matty, can we talk about your days at the Crows? How enjoyable were they?
Yeah, Ken, I can't believe that that's all over, and I can't believe I'm on this program, to be honest. You know, it feels like yesterday that I started with the Crows, and we were all that first bunch of eager guys running around the oval and, you know, looking at, you know, the foes that we played against early on, and, you know, the Port guys, you know, the Woodville guys, etc.
Yeah.
And it was just an amazing experience, and just coming together and meeting some of these guys who, up until that time, were my heroes, to be honest. I was only a young fella and sort of broke in, you know, reasonably late into the Glenelg ranks, and I think that was, you know, Glenelg